Afternoon. My name is Britt Gordon. I became interested in this topic through my own experience as a student at CFK and through conversations with other students. Those experiences led me to investigate whether these challenges were part of a broader pattern. Today, I will present the problem, the evidence, the analysis, and a proposed solution. This captures the central problem. Students are not struggling because support does not exist. They are struggling because they cannot find it or navigate between departments to get help. Let me show you what that looks like. Interact with multiple independent systems: financial aid, advising, registration, tutoring. There is no clear path forward when something goes wrong. The survey data confirms students described this system as fragmented and confusing. Identified three starting points for confusion: no clear starting point, inconsistent information across offices, and multiple referrals before getting an answer. It's described being passed between departments without resolution. One student was sent from financial aid to the business office and back, resolved only after a department head intervened. To understand how widespread these issues are, I went directly to the students. I surveyed 50 CFK students about their experiences navigating the support system. I received over 36 responses. The survey covered challenges faced, confidence in finding help, departments contacted, referral experiences, and satisfaction. All data comes directly from student responses. Advising was the top challenge at 36%. Financial aid confusion at 15%, enrollment issues at 12%, scheduling and registration difficulties and communication between departments each at 10%. 45% were not confident in knowing where to get help. Only 15% felt very confident. Half the students lacked navigational confidence. 50% contacted 2 to 3 departments for a single issue. Over 60% needed multiple departments, clear evidence of fragmentation. 5% of students reported being referred between offices without clear direction. This is the most commonly reported pain point: department handoffs without ownership. Resolution was scattered across 5 offices. 8% had to resolve it alone. 4.5% said it was never resolved. No single office seems to own student support. To issue resolution, 40% were dissatisfied. Over 60% did not have a positive resolution experience. 95% said a single point of contact would be very or extremely helpful. 0% said it would not help. Now let me share what students said in their own words. The numbers, students described their experiences directly. The strongest theme was the need for a dedicated support person. Our students echoed this need. One student stated, quote, "We have no one fighting for us." Named specific communication failures, such as unanswered voicemails and emails, delayed responses, and not feeling seen or heard. Described being passed between departments and asked for offices to communicate and work together. Additional students reported limited access during regular office hours. Working students described being unable to meet with anyone after hours. These describe specific failures from the survey: double-booked classes, financial aid confusion, and scheduling errors requiring parental intervention. We also asked students an open-ended question: what was the most challenging part of getting help? Their answers went deeper into specific barriers. Common challenge: not knowing who to ask when their advisor was unavailable. Students described department handoffs without follow-through. One was sent between financial aid and the business office repeatedly before a department head resolved it. Students reported missed deadlines because advisors were unavailable, unanswered voicemails and emails, and appointment-only access as barriers. Serious breakdowns, unresolved advising concerns, an advisor who quit mid-semester, and missed appointments with real academic consequences. Evening and online students described missing all services offered during the day and having no alternative. These three statements capture the human weight of the data. Voices summarize the core finding. Students need a dedicated, accessible person to help them navigate the system. Now, let's look at the analysis. They revealed three communication barriers: trouble reaching faculty, delayed or unanswered emails and voicemails, and no clear escalation path. When students feel unheard, they disengage, and disengagement leads to dropout. The data shows non-traditional students are most affected. They cannot access the 8 to 5 window, they miss services offered during the day, and delayed responses cause them to miss deadlines. Without timely support, consequences escalate. Students reported grade impacts from unresolved advising. A financial aid question becomes a financial hold. A scheduling conflict becomes a double-booked class. Early intervention matters. EFK has strong systems. The issue is a gap in connection between the resources. Support is fragmented. No single point of accountability exists, and students navigate alone. This is solvable. This brings me to my thesis. I propose a centralized student liaison position to improve retention, satisfaction, and completion. 85% were bounced between offices. 50% lacked navigational confidence. 95% said a connector would help. So, based on the data, here's the proposed solution. A Director of Student Success and Advocacy, a centralized, full-time, student-facing role, not another program or committee, a dedicated person serving as the bridge between students and the institution, responding to the 95% who said this role would help. Purpose maps to findings. Students did not know who to ask. One reliable contact. Students fell through the cracks. Support from entry to graduation. Students were forgotten. Proactive follow-up. Open door because appointment-only access was a barrier. All students because challenges spanned every population. Flexible hours because non-traditional students were locked out of the 8 to 5 window. Three functions from findings: bridging departments, real-time problem solving because delayed responses caused missed deadlines, and navigation with follow-through because no one took ownership. Continuity because students restarted their story with each new person. Accountability because students were allowed to fall through the cracks. Navigation because half student body lacked the confidence. Each survey problem connects to this role. Inconsistent information, one reliable source. Communication gaps, real-time bridging. Lack of follow-through, built-in accountability. Student confusion, one clear starting point. So, how do we make this happen? The implementation plan. Day and evening availability addresses the access barrier. In-person, phone, and Zoom options provide flexibility. Serving all student types ensures no one is excluded. Full-time role with measurable returns. Improved retention because students disengage without support. Stronger completion because unresolved issues caused academic consequences. And better positioning for grants targeting student support. So, what outcomes can we expect? Here are the measurable outcomes. Measurable outcomes. Increased retention because consistent support reduces dropout. Improved satisfaction because 40% were dissatisfied under the current system. And faster resolution by eliminating the multi-department runaround. Stronger metrics support accreditation. Improved retention, open grants funding. Better experiences strengthen reputation and recruitment. With one dedicated person. Expand into a team, extended hours, and build community partnerships over time. This project began because I noticed a gap as a student and through conversations with others at CFK. The evidence comes from 36 survey responses. 85% were bounced between offices. 95% said a connector would definitely help. This role is about connection, prevention, and accountability. Supporting the systems that are already in place and making CFK a stronger, better place for every student. Here you will find supplementary marketing and outreach strategy for this proposed role. Our target audience is new, at risk, non-traditional, and online students. Every student, every question, one place. Outreach is very important, not just to our students, but to local high schools, community events, and let's not leave out the CFK Academy.